They say schools are meant to shape the future, to teach discipline, morals, and truth. But what if one school did the opposite? What if, behind its polished gates and perfect smiles, it wasn't teaching kids how to live, but how to get away with murder? This is the story of Ravenhill Academy, better known in the whispers of those who survived it as the School of Criminal. It started like any other school year. Parents took pictures, students compared new shoes, and teachers handed out syllabuses that no one would ever read. But on the third day of term, something happened that would change everything. A student named Eli Carter, a quiet 17-year-old who rarely spoke, didn't show up to class. By noon, his desk sat empty. By sunset, his phone went straight to voicemail. And by morning, his body was found behind the old gym, staged to look like a suicide. But anyone who knew Eli knew he would never do that. The police came, did their work, and left with little to say. No signs of struggle, they claimed. No evidence of foul play. Case closed. But for Lena Morales, Eli's best friend, nothing added up. Eli had been working on something, a secret project, something he told her would change how people saw the school. And 2 days before his death, he'd told her, "If anything happens to me, don't trust the teachers." So Lena started digging. At first, it was harmless. Old student files, archived yearbooks, staff photos. But the deeper she went, the darker it got. She found out that 5 students had transferred out in the last 3 years. Yet none of them had ever enrolled anywhere else. Their parents received scholarships, money, silence. And the principal, Dr. Malcolm Rhodes, always handled it personally. There was even a rumor that Rhodes ran a secret program for exceptionally gifted students. The catch? No one ever talked about what happened inside that program. Late one night, Lena broke into the admin office. She found a hidden door behind the old filing cabinets, leading down to a basement that wasn't on the school map. Inside, rows of desks, cameras, and what looked like a mock interrogation room. On the whiteboard, a phrase written in red marker. "Control the crime, control the truth." Lena took photos and ran. But by the next morning, her phone was gone. So was her laptop. And Principal Rhodes was waiting for her outside homeroom. He smiled, calm and cold. "You're curious, Lena," he said. "That's dangerous here." That night, she found a note under her door. No handwriting, just typed words. Eli wasn't the first. "Stop asking questions or you'll be next." Lena tried to tell the police, but the officer she spoke to, Officer Halden, brushed her off. He said, "You're lucky, kid. Most people who ask questions at Ravenhill don't get a complaint about it after." The next day, he was found dead in his patrol car. Suicide, they said again. Same handwriting. Same note. By now, the students were whispering. Cameras started showing up in classrooms. Phones went missing. And yet the school board insisted everything was under control. One night, Lena decided to run. She called her mom, said she'd meet her at the bus station in 20 minutes. She never made it. Her backpack was found in a ditch off Route 9. Her notebook ripped apart, pages missing. And inside the front cover, written in shaky handwriting, were the last words anyone ever heard from her. Eli was right. The teachers aren't the ones in control. 2 weeks later, Ravenhill Academy reopened under a new name, St. Marlowe Preparatory. New logo, new staff, new students. But if you look closely, the motto card above the entrance is the same. Knowledge is power. And every fall, the first week of classes, someone goes missing. Always a top student. Always the one who asked too many questions. Maybe Ravenhill was never school at all. Maybe it was an experiment, one that never ended. And if that's true, somewhere out there the next class has already begun. Because once you enter the School of Criminal, the only way to graduate is to disappear. When Ravenhill Academy reopened as St. Marlowe Preparatory, the news cycle moved on. New beginnings, the paper said, a fresh start. But for those who'd lived through the last term, nothing felt new. The walls were the same, the classrooms unchanged, and the cameras, even more than before, The only thing that disappeared were the records of everyone who asked questions. 2 months later, a new student transferred in, Noah Reyes, a quiet scholarship kid from a nearby town. He didn't know the school's history, or at least that's what they told him. But from his first day, something felt wrong. The teachers smiled too perfectly, the hallways were too clean, and the students seemed rehearsed. Every answer was memorized, every mistake corrected with eerie precision. Noah noticed the cameras in every hallway. He noticed the empty desk in the corner of room 12, the one no one ever sat at. And when he asked about it, the class went silent. The teacher simply said, "That seat is reserved." Later that day, he found the name Lena Morales carved beneath it. Curiosity turned to obsession. Noah began sneaking into the library's restricted section, where the oldest files were kept. He found fragments of destroyed records, scorched photos, shredded documents, faded surveillance tapes labeled Behavioral Module. Phase 2. One of them still worked. The footage was grainy. A dark room, a group of students around a table, each wearing earpieces. A voice over speaker said, "Lesson 7. Crime is only chaos until you learn to control it." Then the camera panned to the instructor, Principal Rhodes, smiling, calm, watching as one of the students cried. Among the recovered files, Noah found a document with Lena's name. Her evaluation read, Subject 06 disobedient, High Curiosity Index, terminated after Phase 1 breach. But the final page was missing. In its place, a post-it note stuck to the folder. She's still alive. Basement level 3. That night, Noah snuck into Forbidden Wing. The air was colder there, the walls lined with metal doors, each with a small window. Inside, he saw rooms that looked more like cells and classrooms. And in one of them, a girl, pale and trembling, whispered his name. "Lena?" She turned, eyes wide. "It's not a school," she said. "It's training." Before Noah could react, the alarm blared. Metal shutters slammed shut, locking the halls. Through the speakers, Rhodes' voice echoed. "Congratulations, Noah. You've made it to Phase 3. From hidden panels, figures emerged, students he recognized, but something was off. Their eyes were cold. Movements too synchronized. One held a taser, another a scalpel. Lena screamed, "They're not students anymore. They're part of the program." And then darkness. When Noah woke, he was in the nurse's office. No memory of how he got there. No sign of Lena. The principal stood beside his bed, clipboard in hand. "You had a fainting episode," Rhodes said calmly. "You're fine now, but do try to stay out of restricted areas." Noah looked around. The windows were sealed. The cameras were watching. And when he checked his arm, there was a new wristband. Printed on it, Phase 3 Initiate. The next week, a new scholarship student arrived. Another quiet kid with curious eyes. And once again, the same desk sat empty. Because at Ravenhill, or whatever name it takes next, students don't graduate. They evolve. And the experiment continues. Thanks for watching. If this story gripped you, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss the next dark tale from the School of Criminal.